After Lieutenant Colonel Lee Stewart returned home from Operation Desert Storm in Iraq, he got a 10-month-old puppy to keep him company. He was looking for man's best friend, but he never expected the dog to be his hero. Boomer was the dog's name. He was a 115-pound black lab. He saved Colonel Stewart's life when he was shot during an armed robbery. Now retired from the Army and currently a mayor in Georgia, Colonel Stewart tells his story in the new book, Boomer, One of the Unwanted, and he joins us right now. Great to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
So, your first meeting with Boomer, tell us how it went down.
When they brought him up to me after Desert Storm, my brother-in-law brought him up and they dropped him off. He was so excited that we had a swimming pool, so he jumped in the swimming pool and ran around, and after he came out all wet and shaking, and he looked at me and goes, "I think I'm going to like it here, Dad." So we turned around and he became my running partner, and we stayed together for 16 years. He
had a thing for water, I understand. I read some of the book you're talking about how you would go scuba diving and he'd be sitting there at the boat staring at you just to make sure you were okay.
Yes, Boomer didn't like people to go underwater. He knew humans don't belong underwater, and when I'm teaching scuba lessons, he would swim around on the top and be biting at the bubbles of all of us down below breathing. He just couldn't stand people to be underwater.
All right, so take us back to 1996. You got shot at point-blank range. Tell us what happened.
Yes, I had just recovered from a parachute accident operation and was walking a lady to her car. And when we did, I ran into some people who were trying to steal my neighbor's car. And Boomer had alerted on them. And when he started barking, I checked it out. And next thing I know, I get in an altercation with him. He pulls out a gun and shoots me and blows me away. And I'm laying on the ground. And I thought, this is it. I'm 25 feet out my back door and gonna be killed again. And the guy was trying to reload the gun, and Boomer looked at me and could sense that I was afraid and looked up and says, "No." And he lunged at the guy and made the guy drop the shell. He never bit him. He didn't even use, I was hoping he'd rip their face off, but he used just enough strength to run them off. He kept barking at them and ran them to the next apartment complex where they held another guy up and made off with their car. And then the guy that I'd been fighting with, he kept nipping him on the butt and running him in the woods. But if it hadn't been for him, they would have blown me away, and I wouldn't be here today.
Well, we see how much love you have for him, and you even have the sweater with Black Labs on it. Tell us what you're doing now. You're involved in something called, well, you actually created the Warrior Family Program, and tell us a little bit about what you're doing and how Boomer is helping this program.
Well, Boomer's an old warrior. He went on to be the Army Aviation Heritage Foundation Mascot of the Year and the Animal Planet Dog of the Year in 2004. But he's always been around and being involved in community stuff with me. And we started after I came back from Iraq in December of '08. I realized I've been a contractor over there on and off for 5 years as a consultant. And so I wanted to start a program for the Warrior Family Program. The military does a good job of taking care of the service members, but it don't matter if you're a draftee like I was, or a guard, or reservist, or active duty. One day you're going to come home. And if the family is not equipped on how to deal with post-traumatic stress disorder, then that's where the problems happen. And we have, there's roughly 35 veterans a day commit suicide, and that's sad. So our program, our Warrior Family Program, is designed to help the family members deal with post-traumatic stress disorder. So the proceeds from Boomer's book will go towards this program to help us take care of America's finest.
And sadly, Boomer died back in 2006, but I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you volunteered for another two tours in Iraq. Explain why.
Well, when he passed away, and I lost my best friend from Nam in October of '06. He died in November, and it's just like losing my right arm or leg. Then my mother passed away in May of '07, and my dad in July, and it was more than I could bear. I said, I can't be at home with all this around. So I left, called my buddies and said, just send me back to Iraq. Let me get back with soldiers. I've been an old soldier. I love being around them. And so while I was there, that's when it turned around and came up to me, I need to write this book and story and tell about Boomer and get it out. And I think the good Lord has turned around and made it where it's this way I can help get the story out to him and telling how Boomer has saved my life.
We're glad we can help you get the story out, and we appreciate you joining us today, and thank you for your service to our country. There's the book. It's Boomer, One of the Unwanted, a book about his beloved dog who saved him, and it really is a very sweet story.
And this is him right here in the box. I had him cremated with his photo, and he sits on my office every day watching me while I do my work.
Well,
Thank you
Happy
very
New Year
much
to you,
for
sir.
us.
We appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right,
God
thank
bless
you.
America.